Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Shift Now. Happy Monday. Shift Now for February 6th to February 7th, 2023. For those of you who are new, my name is Arlene Grace, and I'm a spiritual coach, alchemist. I am a Q practitioner, a master numerologist. And so if you are just joining in on the call, I invite you to say hello. Welcome, everyone. And I'm curious about how did you experience the weekend? How did you experience the full moon? Yesterday's full moon being that in Leo, right? The energy of being your own leader, of expressing yourself radically, of dancing when no one's watching, of singing when as if no one's listening. How did you experience? What did you surrender? What did you let go of? And let's begin. Let's begin with today's energy. Today's energy is really this energy of not doing. It's an invitation to be, right? An invitation to be here, present in this moment. Good morning, Lisa. To be here in this moment. And as you are here in this moment, to allow yourself to come into a deeper awareness of what is true for me. Good morning, right? To see another layer of truth. And in this, we have this opportunity to awaken to what or who we give authority to, right? And so we move to this energy of the full moon that has invited us to be the leader, right? To express ourselves radically, to now come to discover as we've created this space, to discover a deeper truth of what am I making more important than myself, right? And so I'm going to invite you all to just take a moment to breathe, to be here in this moment. And as you be in this moment, just tapping into you, perhaps taking a deep breath in as you be here in this moment, to notice, am I connected? Am I connected to myself? Or am I on the outside looking in? And so as you are connecting to yourself, as you are being here in this moment, just notice, do I have the ability to bring my awareness to my entire body in this moment, to feel the energy that's flowing through or over? In this moment, as I be, am I noticing, is there stuck energy that's moving through? And I can feel there's energy moving through in this group. As I'm feeling into this moment, am I notice any emotions? Are there any emotions that are wanting to just simply move out of my body? As I be in this moment, what are the quality of my thoughts? Are my thoughts rushing and saying, hey, Arlene, just hurry up, get to the forecast? Are they going into this, oh, I need to go do this and this and this as soon as this is done? Or am I here and am I noticing the thoughts and the quality of the thoughts and the ones that I'm choosing to focus on? How am I as I be? And now as you be, I'm going to ask you the question. What meaning do I give to myself? And so this can be an important question for today, right? Because here we are and we've all embarked on this journey, right? We are all on this journey to see ourselves, to access ourselves, to know ourselves, to love ourselves, to value ourselves, yes. And as we are on this journey, we're being invited to just notice where we may be trying to control or giving our authority outside of ourselves. And where in this moment, as I be, to notice, well, what am I choosing as I be? Because sometimes we forget. And so I was listening to this podcast this morning, and this podcast was sharing an experiment that they had done with rats. And the experiment with rats, there was rat A and rat B, and rat A and rat B were connected to these wheels. And these wheels were going to test their own fitness. Good morning, Vanessa. And so rat A would run on the wheel, but rat B's wheel was connected to rat A. And so they found that rat A would just go and it would run, and it seemed to be having fun, and it would just go and it would run every so often, which would now trigger rat B to go and to have no choice but to run. It was on the wheel was spinning. And so after the experiment, they went and they tested the markers to well-being. And they discovered that the markers for rat A that chose whether or not it was going to run, that chose the time it was going to run, had the markers for great fitness, great well-being. But rat B, that had no choice in what it believed to be its own conditions, was marked with all of these stresses within its own body, within its own well-being, within itself, right? And so the reason why I bring this experiment in is because, well, where are you now in your life? Have you assessed where you are? And are you still choosing to be where you want to be? Or have you grown? Have you evolved? Have you changed? Where now your outside conditions have now dictated your own choice? Where are you in your own power? And so I think about that, and I think about a time where, I first moved into corporate, and I wanted to be in a place where I was creative, where I was learning, where I was empowered to be a leader, where I was connecting with other people, where I was getting to play, where I got to move my body. And I found my corporate job, right? And so I went into the corporate job, but as I worked there for 10 years, I had grown. I had now gotten married. I had 2 children. I had a house. And in all of that, I squeezed that all into my life. And now I started to grow and no longer like my job, but I had no choice but to continue to go to the job. I was no longer choosing it, but because of my life conditions, i.e., I needed money in order to pay and support my children, to pay for my house, to pay for my car, I felt as though I had no choice. And so life met me there. And my life met me there so that I now discovered, it showed me where I was not loving it. It showed me where I was out of my power. It showed me where I was unhappy. It showed me all of the things. And I had no choice, and I'm air quoting if you're listening, no choice but to leave it. When really and truly, I could have made the choice 3 years in. And so as you be in this moment and as you assess your life, because today has a karmic influence, are you still choosing the same thing? Are you still choosing to be here? Are you still choosing to engage with life? And as you are here being in this moment, I want you to take notice of not just your life, but let's make it smaller. Let's go to the body, right? When we look at life itself and when we look at things that are happening in the world, there are all of these trends, right? We look at the trends with eyebrows because I look at the age group here. And the eyebrows in the early 2000s were really thin. And so everyone just plucked all of their eyebrows. And so many of us now at this age might have sparse eyebrows. And then we saw later on in, 2017, they went bushy. And now they're going thin again. Now there's actually a trend where people are bleaching them. We look at body trends where, in the 80s, it was a healthy body or what seemed to look like a healthy body. And then it went into the 2000s, early 2000s, and it was gaunt, right? Like it was anorexic skinny was the way to be. And then we moved into, a more healthier way of looking. Perhaps breast implants got really big. People wanted to enlarge their breasts and to be sexy and seductive in that way. And then we went into the place of to be thick with an ample bottom and ample thighs and a skinny itty bitty waist was on trend and was healthy and was well, right? Now we also have our ideas of, well, what is sexy to others? What is healthy for others? We've got family, and I know that I've experienced this in my family where my grandmother would tell me whether or not I gained 5 pounds, and she would be like, don't eat sugar, or check out how much you're eating. And so in this energy of being, we're being invited to really navigate, well, who am I giving my authority to? Am I giving my authority to the diet trends, to the way that the body is constantly changing, to my own sex appeal, to my own womanhood, to my own vitality in life by going outside of me? Or am I willing to just be? We spent centuries looking for this fountain of youth and this idea that it was an elixir, an idea that it might be this stone, an idea that it might be a gem. We've had scientists that have been searching for this idea that we could have the fountain of youth and live forever. But what if it was just accessible here now by simply being? And by willingly letting go of the preconceived notions, ideas that you might have taken on involuntarily and chose to be true for you, that may have been taken on by a family. I know in my family, we came from a place that was poor. And so to finish all of the food on your plate was a luxury. Like you needed to finish all of the plate because there were starving people back home and you need to ensure that you were eating for them, right? And so it'd be disrespectful to not finish the food. And yet at the same time, if you ask for seconds, then suddenly you were being selfish, right? And so there are all of these different ideas that we have within ourselves, within our own family unit, within our own partner, right? Are we fitting? What if we just allowed ourselves to be? If we allowed ourselves to be here now, if we took on the idea of value and brought it in, and we took on the idea of, we'll call sexy or beautiful or gorgeous, whatever that idea is, and we took it in here, what would that allow for? What awareness would that arise up within you that would show you, oh shit, I'm going outside of myself in order to attain these things? That in fact, if I didn't go and continue to jump onto the scale to see whether or not I lost weight, and to use that idea that I see on the scale to navigate how I'm going to eat, whether or not I'm going to cut calories, whether or not I'm going to go keto, whether or not I'm going to go on intermittent fast, whether or not I'm going to go and buy a whole bunch of these supplements that are going to, increase my metabolism, or am I just going to allow myself to settle into being here now? Because today's energy is inviting you to just notice, right? Where are you going outside of you and making other things the authority? Right, like J-Lo. And so in that, we want to take a look at what meaning have I given to me as a whole, without any of the other, without of the, I'm not telling you specifically, Allison, but to come back to you and ask yourself, what meaning am I giving to me as a whole? Just as a whole, as this being, as this divine energy that's flowing through me. And where am I still trying to control my own circumstances? Where am I still trying to, and for some of you, where am I trying to control my own manifestation, my own creation? Where am I, noticing the places where I'm trying to fix it, where I think that there's something wrong? So I go and I start a diet, right? And I start this diet in the way that used to be back in the day was you would join Weight Watchers, and Weight Watchers would tell you to come in community and jump onto this scale so that everyone can see. And people love community like that because they feel the energy of the community. And so this is something that people decide to do, which is not good, not bad. It's just a choice, right? And so people go and they come and they commune, and each of them jump on the scale and they look, and they can go and they can feel how they're going to feel. It takes courage to get up there, to share that you're going to be up on a scale and people are going to be marking you, right? And in that, you get off the scale and you decide, okay, well, now I got to, I went up in weight. And so now I'm going to lower my point system to 137 per week, or whatever the scale system is, right? Or you went down and you're like, ooh, okay, awesome. So now maybe I can fluctuate and I can increase my point system. And so we're looking at the places where we are controlling and navigating our life and our choices. But really and truly, it's showing us all of the places and the nuances where we may be controlling our own physical body. And that's just an example, right? Body's always a good one. And so here in this moment, you're being invited to just look at, who am I? Who am I as this beautiful being? And when I look, or when I notice my clothes, when I notice what I'm eating, when I notice my body, am I going outside of myself? Am I jumping onto a scale, or am I jumping and I'm noticing how my clothes are fitting? And am I giving that meaning to me? Or can I just pull back? Can I notice that, oh, I'm trying to control my own physical experience, because in that physical experience it's now triggering me to fix something, right? And so your invitation today in this energy of just noticing the karmic influence, to notice the choices that you made, to notice your own being, to notice what you're choosing. What are you choosing? Has that changed? And then we move into tomorrow's energy. And tomorrow's energy is this energy of acceptance. You've had all of this awareness. How am I in my body? How am I in my career? Do I still enjoy it? How am I in my relationship? Is there a dynamic that I'm wanting to change? What meaning have I given to myself? Is that wanting to shift? Am I wanting to come into better awareness of that? And so in all of that, in now seeing the truth, what are you going to choose? Are you going to continue to choose the path that you've ridden, the path that continues to play out the same thing? Because this energy is allowing for you to see where you loop. Are you looping and going back and finding a new way to attain the thing, the physical manifestation that you want? A new diet, a new supplement, a new thing? Or are you going to stop and say, hold on, I'm going to come back to me. I'm going to come back to fully accepting me. I'm going to stop with playing what's outside of me, and I'm going to start to amplify. I'm going to choose me. I'm going to amplify whatever it is that I'm wanting. And I'm going to leap. I'm going to leap, because that leap is what instigates the change, right? Tomorrow's energy is a leaping energy. And when you think about that, right? When you think about leaping, you think about watching people who are willing to do those trust falls. The action itself is not the leap, it's the decision to let themselves fall. And so tomorrow is an opportunity to let yourself fall. Yesterday or last night, as I was going to bed, I was having a hard time going to bed. And usually that happens for me with the full moon. And I was feeling into this energy, and I was like, oh, okay. So I'm hearing you, I'm understanding the energy, and what is it? What's happening for me? And I noticed what was happening for me was a surrendering. I give up trying to get rid of my fucking cellulite. I give up trying to be skinny. I give up trying to have this certain sex appeal or this certain way of looking outside in order to attract men. I give that up. I give up trying to be youthful. I give up trying to, do all of these things. And all of these things started just leave. Like, I just give up. I surrender. I'm done. Finish emptying it out. And I'm just emptying. And I came back to me. Now what do I choose? Well, I choose me. And I choose to truly feel what it feels like to value just me. Not me because of my body, not me because of my face, or because I'm youthful, or because I have black hair, or any of those things. I just value me. Just like I just love me. Not for what I can do for me, but for me. And so this is the energy that we are playing with today. What are you going to give up trying? What are you going to leap into? Lori, you surrendered it all and miracles unfolding. Exactly. Because it's that leap. It's that willingness to just surrender it. Will you just give it up? Right? The things that you try to do versus the things that you simply just do. To be is to just be. I'm not trying to be, I just am it. And so I'm curious for what this is. What is rising up for you? What are you noticing? What did you create space for yesterday with the full moon? This energy is still continuing to play with us for the next 3 days, which is why this is a beautiful time to just notice. What meaning have I given to me? What meaning have I given to my life, right? Jocelyn, it's funny how we can accept others as they are, cellulite and all, yet we're hard on ourselves. Yes, exactly. So as you be, right? And this is just not just for Jocelyn, as you be, it's noticing. It's noticing, do I have this mean girl or mean guy that's running in my head? Do I have something else or another part of me, an aspect of me that is giving me a rundown of where I am not good enough or where I can do something or where I can, yada, yada, yada. Right? Samantha. Not trying in my relationship with my husband, open to hearing him and allowing it to be. Beautiful. I love that. Simply being in relationship. I love that. And so then, like, what does it mean? What's the meaning of relationship for you? Because we want to take a look at, okay, what is it that brings you, what is it that you hold yourself to every single day? What is it that you value, right? Where you can just bring that into your mind, right? For me, I ask myself, did I contribute today? Did I connect? Did I learn something new? Did I play? Did I create? Did I move my body? And I get to just notice. It's not that I'm checking off a list. It's just these things are important to me. These things make me feel good. Like these things are things that I'm wanting to express through me. And so as I look at those things and as I notice that maybe I haven't moved in a week, it's like, ooh, let's get the movement going. Let's get the dancing going. Let's get out there for a walk, whatever that is. Allison, I'm noticing how, as I'm surrendering to just being me, I see less money flowing, and how I was thinking, how can I control and bring in more money in the physical world? Yeah, beautiful. Mesa. Weight loss has been on my mind more lately than it has been in a while. The self-love and value has always been based around being fit. So I'm reminding myself I'm beautiful inside and out. Yeah, right? I'm really feeling that self-love. Because in all of this, in being, right? When we come back to this energy of being and being connected to yourself, I just lost what I was about to say. That's so funny. As you are being and as you are connecting to yourself, you're now just allowing yourself to be connected to everything, connected to the entire world, connecting to all of your life. And you allow this energy of being and connecting to come with you. Like, I'm not... to invite yourself into every place that you go, to invite your own connection to yourself everywhere, and to allow for that to lead. And once you connect to yourself, now you get to bring in all of these other energies. You get to bring in that self-love. You get to bring in that value. You get to bring in wealth, all of those things. But this energy today is inviting you to connect to you first, right? To connect to you, to get lost in your being. Right? Yeah. So you're recontextualizing your relationship today. You're recontextualizing your relationship to yourself, your relationship to whatever it is, whatever direction you go in, right? So I am curious, as I throw cards everywhere, what questions do you have? Are you willing to choose a higher life experience, right? Because the old is falling away. We're in this energy of the 9, and things are falling away. Things that don't serve you, things that don't belong. Yeah, oh, I love that. Allison, yes, to truly feel whole and expressing myself as I clean my house, play with the kids, drive, etc. Yeah, absolutely. Samantha, what a way to start the week. Love this conversation. Beautiful. Me too. That's so today, working on my business, meal prepping, exercise, etc. Yeah, love it. And so, awakening to the truth. Today, you are awakening to the truth. And there's a pulling apart so that you can see just the nuances, and so that you can see what it is that you're putting back together, right? Like the vision I get with that is Lego. When you have something created with Lego, in order to create something else, you must take it all apart, right? And so you take it all apart, you get all the blocks, and you're assembling all the blocks, and you're looking at them. And then you make a decision. What am I going to do with that? Which ones do I need? What is it that I'm creating? I'm creating a boat. I'm creating a boat with my Lego. And so I'm going to take this piece and this piece. I want it to be this color. I'm going to take this. I'm going to take this. And I'm going to put all of these together. And I'm going to put the rest in the box. The rest I don't need. And so, yeah. Mesa. I would love cards supporting a peaceful and easy week ahead. With my sister being home, the weekend went really well. I'm looking to have the rest of the week flow easily. Yeah, keep going. Oh my gosh, keep going. Yeah, celebrating you. Like this energy, like continue to celebrate yourself as you continue to move on this journey of just being peaceful, being with your sister, of, noticing those places. Like I feel like you've let her off the hook. And so in letting her off the hook, it's actually invited in the ease. And so are you willing to continue to move forward with that? I feel like there's a little bit of like, oh, like what if shit hits the fan? What if can't continue this? Well, will you stay with the what if you can? What if you can continue to move and continue to move on this journey with your sister? It almost feels like you're moving with your sister in like parallel, right? You're moving in this direction of moving forward. Both of you know the goal. Both of you know what has to be happen. And in this, there's a space that's created where you don't have to tell her what to do. You're actually trusting. I can feel that there's trust between the two of you, which, can be amped up. And so as you're continuing to move forward, you're allowing her to be, you're allowing her to express herself. Both of you know the higher vision. And it's almost like in this, are you willing to celebrate what she's done? Are you willing to celebrate with her? Hey, I saw what you did there. Thank you so much. Knowing that part of it is their responsibility, but just giving a little bit of feedback. I loved when you did this. I loved how I found the place after I left. I loved how you engaged with these people. I loved all of these things, and celebrating yourself and celebrating her in that. And as you do, you start to build momentum with that. I feel like the momentum will continue to build as you move forward. Yeah, the more you do it, the more the trust builds, the more you can feel that you can give her responsibility, the more that you feel you can take responsibility for yourself, the more that you can let go. And so there's a beautiful opportunity here for you to just keep going, keep doing the things. Yeah. And continue to feel the ease and the peace as you go. Yesterday, I had a big release that has been waiting to come up. I was giving the opportunity to be alone and be with just me to silence my mind. It was amazing. I let go of shame, guilt, all the things yucky. And I just slept, and my body did not want to move. So I surrendered. Clothes and laundry and house a mess, and just let it be. I choose me. Oh, love that. I'm just continuing with your message. Something happened this weekend. I would love a card to support my children in their relationship with their father without saving them, and just be there for support. I'm torn as to what my role is. I think I know, but of course I'm still a mom, so Mama Bear comes out. Yeah. And so when we pull back and we look at our children, we want to look at their own emotional capacity of what is it that they can handle, what is it that they can, how are they needing support? And so I feel like there's an emotional support that is required, though you would know more. Let's see what the cards say. Yeah. So what is it that you're wanting? What is it that you're wanting to experience with your children? How are you wanting to deepen your relationship with your children rather than using their father as the reason? Do you know what I mean? So what do you want to do in order to connect with your children? How do you want to be their mom? Are they safe? What is it that they're desiring, or what is it that they're needing from you? So it's really inviting in a deeper connection or a conversation that you have with them, one that is just open, one that isn't in a place of, oh, I'm going to blame the dad, i.e. I'm going to be a mama bear. I'm just this is the situation. This is what I'm seeing. This is what I'm experiencing. How are you doing, son? How are you doing, daughter? What is it that you're needing from me in order for me to support you? Because it feels like there are some that are not necessarily feeling uh, feeling safe to engage in a conversation with the other party. And so in that not feeling safe, it's okay now coming back to ask, okay, well, how can I help you to feel safe? And sometimes that might mean a conversation for you to have with the other partner, or the other person, or it may be, I don't know, like it's for you to find out, to be curious, to notice in that conversation that you have with them. But there's an invitation for you to um yeah, to be unconditional in your love. What would it be like to be unconditional for with love for them, in what they're experiencing, in who they are, in yeah, I'm thinking of an example. Like, my children have an experience with their dad where their dad is moving out of their experience more and more and more and more. And so during a time, especially close to Christmas, we noticed that he wasn't necessarily engaging. He wasn't showing up to pick them up. He wasn't connecting with them. He wasn't doing anything. He was just kind of fizzling out. And so it was my job to go and to be with them and to just ask them, how are you feeling in this moment? How are you feeling? Is there anything that I can do to support you? Is there anything that you want to talk about? And so each child is going to respond differently. One child didn't want to talk about it, right? The other child would come and she would want to just release, and she wouldn't want to, express. Um, she had a list about her dad, and she would just like ramble off the list. And so those were the things that I could offer in order to support them, but to be in that space of supporting without judgment of the other person. I was simply here, open and accessible to them, and unconditionally loving them regardless of what was coming through for them. Does that make sense? And so you're leading them into this place. Like, the result is King of Clubs, which is interesting because I know that this is your partner. But taking him out of this equation, the result is you coming into is leading a conversation with them where you're taking the lead, but you're taking a lead from mastery. You're taking a lead from the wisdom. You're taking a lead from, okay, here I am, and I'm in my whatever, 30s, 40s, whatever. I've grown to this place of I am wise, and I've engaged in different relationships. And so I understand the nature of some relationships. And so in understanding the nature of some relationships, I also know that my children have not engaged in these kinds of relationships. They have not engaged in adult conversations. And so I'm going to pull back from thinking that they know what I know. They don't. And so as I pull back into thinking, into knowing who they are and where they are in their own maturity and where they are in developing relationships that are safe for them, I'm going to allow myself to be without judgment for myself, without judgment for them, without judgment for the other people in this experience. And I'm going to just engage openly. And so you're coming into mastery of yourself, mastery in how you communicate with your children, mastery in how you lead your family, right? While offering them a space for them to connect with you. Yeah, I hope that serves. Samantha, I would love a card, please. Not sure I can form a question yet. Relationship and a budding business have been top of mind. I can feel that. Okay. So funny. I was shuffling and then I had to come to a full stop. Full stop. What do you want? And so I feel like in relationship, you're still in this place where it feels very, I know that you're a numerologist, so it feels very Neptunian. Like, it feels like there's this dreamlike quality to what you're wanting to experience in your relationship. Yeah, there's and in this energy of this dreamlike quality, as you're redefining your relationship, there's a little bit of things that are wanting to fall away. And so the dreamlike quality of like the Disney movies where everything ended up so beautifully, where Cinderella became queen or whatever, or where the princess gets saved, or where all of the rom-coms that create this hero story of boy meets girl, boy doesn't like girl, girl changes to like boy, so that boy does like girl. Like all of these things are wanting to fall, which is fitting for today's energy. And so as you come into discernment, as you notice this dreamlike quality, you're being invited to come back here to you. What do I want to experience? Screw outside of me, screw what I see, screw what I've experienced in my life, screw what others have experienced. What do I want to experience? How do I want to recontextualize myself, my relationship to myself, and my relationship to my partner, right? And so it's almost the same thing that's happening in your business. There's this dreamlike quality, right? Of, oh, well, I've seen these people, they're successful. I see them as successful. And so they must know the way. So I'm going to go and do the things. I'm going to go into, whatever practices they do. I'm going to, redefine myself to be this person that does numerology and that does this and dances and plays and loves to paddleboard and loves to do all these things. And then it's pulling back again. Okay, well, what do you want? What do you want to experience in your own business? How do you love to serve, be in service with people? What is that flows through as an expression of you? And what are the simple ways that you can just do this so that you can just begin now? Right. And so I love numerology. I love doing quantum numerology, and I love doing advanced numerology. Oh, and I love to channel, or I love to do Reiki, or I love to do this. And so these are the 3 pathways that I'm just going to put out available. I'm going to send it out an email. I'm going to say, hey, I'm starting a business and this is my business. And these are the ways that you can access me, and blah, blah, blah. It doesn't have to be perfect in order for you to engage or to begin, like the idea that you need a website right now, or you need a blog first, you need all of these things. It's okay, what do I want? Am I inspired? Right? That's what I forgot to share today. So today's energy is to be, but to notice, are you inspired? Are you inspirited? Are you inspired to do the things? Are you feeling you first? Accessing what it is that you're wanting to experience, and are you feeling the energy of it that's now inspiring you into, okay, send these emails, okay, connect with these people, okay, do the things, right? And so letting go of the preconceived notions or the ideas of the physical world, or those that so that you can be in the frequency, be inspired with what it is that you're wanting to experience first. What do you want? When you're inspired, when you are feeling into your own essence, you have a better understanding of what it is you're truly wanting to experience, right? Versus what was given to us. So, yeah. Martha, what energy is supporting me for deeper well-being and positive forward momentum? Excuse me. You can feel energy is moving up, and so we're just going to allow the energy to move up. I can hear you laughing. Hold on a second. I'm hearing your mind, and your mind is like a racehorse, and your mind is like, it goes really, really fast. And it's like, okay, what do I need to do? What do I got to do? What do I have to do in order to do this? What's my next step? Where am I going to go? I got to go pick up the kids. I got to go do this. I got to do that. I'm going to invite you to stop and be. What would it be like to just be inspired today? So, what would it be to just lead your life from that, from being, versus letting your mind navigate your life? And so to imagine yourself to just to be inspired for the entire day, what would that look like? What would that feel like? Um, and I could hear like, well, fuck, what if I miss out on something? Like, what if I forget that I got to pick up my kids? What if I don't hear the alarm? What if I don't, what if I get to work late? What if I forget to eat? What if I stop? And so, what if a being would give you everything that you need? Can you trust that? Can you trust yourself in being and allow for the material world to support you? Does that make sense? Because the material world or the universe, the divine, is wanting to support you in different ways. It's almost like I used to not set an alarm for my kids when I went to go pick them up. And I do now because I work a lot now. But when I wasn't, I would just get that cue. It's time to pick up the kids, and I would go. Or something, or I'd have a curiosity about something, and then boom, it would show up. Still does today. Like, I'll have a curiosity, someone will engage with me, and they'll give me the information. I don't have to ask. I'll think about something at night. My sister will engage with me the next day, and she's like, "Hey, I was looking into this for you, and I found out that it's still available. Do you want it?" Right? And I'll laugh because I just put out that curiosity. I put out that thought. I put out the idea. And so it's the same thing with life itself. Will you allow life to support you? And you take the lead. You take the lead by being. So deeper well-being is being here in this moment, allowing the thoughts to go, noticing where you are focusing your thoughts so that you can move in a positive forward momentum, right? Like, it feels like you've done so much work, like you've done a lot of the work, and your mind is sometimes still getting carried away with the things, but it's getting carried away with the things that I'm feeling with the normal mundane things of like, I got to pick up the kids, I got to make up supper, I got to, do this and do this and do this and do this, but you've been doing it. And so will you just pull back and allow yourself to be led to, it's time to do this. I'm going to go do this. Like, your children aren't going to starve, right? They'll get fed. It might be half an hour late, but they'll get fed. Right. And so in doing this and playing with this just over the next couple of days, you're going to deepen your own intuitive insight. You're going to deepen your own connection, trust with your mind. Your mind won't have to race to find the next thing to fix or the next thing to do. You'll quiet the mind, and you will start to hear more and more of your higher self. Oh, go do this. Oh, go play with this. Oh, let's go do a puzzle, whatever it is. Right? So I love that. A deeper connection to your higher self from that state of being, right? Of course, Samantha, your son is playing Lego. Lori, I love that. Awakening to the truth. I'm meeting my client tomorrow, and his business is selling Legos. Oh my God, that's so fun. Good morning, Don. I would love a card for my new pathway with my new me. So what if it wasn't a new pathway? What if it was just the me was being reorganized in order for you to continue on your path? Right? I guess my curiosity is, what is a new pathway? Again, King of Diamonds. And so there's this invitation. I love it. So new pathway, new me. There's an invitation to to connect more deeply to the body, to hear the body, to listen to the body, to play with the body, to perhaps experiment with the body, not experiment in a way of going outside of yourself in order to take this supplement, this homeopathic, this massage, this thing. No, to come back in connection, deep connection with your body, so that you can hear the how you can support the knee as you move forward on this new path. It feels like the knee has been holding resistance to you connecting. So it's interesting. I'm feeling the knee. The knee is is sharing a message of like there was resistance to moving forward on your path, but part of moving forward on your path was to deeply connect to your own body, so that you can understand something. There's some wisdom within the own body that is helping you to navigate what's on your path and what it is that you're sharing with the world. I kind of feel like it has to do with how you move others to their next place in life, where there's this falling away in the body and they're moving into, they're moving back to source. And so I'm going to like death doula or transitional coach, whatever that is. And so there's wisdom that's happening within your own body. Your body's wanting to work with you in order for you to better understand how or what the body is requiring in support. As you start to learn this and navigate this for yourself, you'll better be able to feel intuitively to understand what is happening with your clients as they begin their own transition. Many of those that are moving through their transition may be going through I don't know if they're moving through palliative per se. So they're moving through palliative and they're no longer wanting to engage with what the medical system is saying to, continue to take these drugs or to continue to be on a breathing mechanism, whatever those things are, you'll be better able to intuit. And so your knee is being in service to you to offer you this, groundbreaking information for you. Which is really beautiful. So the result is you breaking your own mind. And when I say breaking your own mind, breaking through the mind, breaking through the control, breaking through the ideas and how you've been navigating the medical system itself, and letting go of, I can hear you. Like I don't take these drugs, or I don't take vaccinations, or I don't whatever, all of those things. Yes. And there's more for you to discover here as you come into deepening your own connection to the body itself. And so just paying attention. Your body's wanting to work with you. It's wanting to play with you. It's wanting to convene in this life with you if you're willing to say yes. And so will you say yes? Love. Would love cards for where my focus should be this week. I feel like I've been on pause long enough and I'm ready to focus again. Ooh, that's exciting. Ooh, we threw it. Yeah, awesome. So, 6 of diamonds. I'm just looking at it because I know that you're an ace of diamonds. I'm pretty sure you are. So I'm just looking. Nope. Okay. So 6 of diamonds is to really pay attention to the feedback that you're receiving may have a karmic influence, but it's allowing for you to discern and to choose. Okay, as I look at my life and I assess my life right now, as I look at my business, as I look at what I'm experiencing in my life, I know that I've moved through a vacuum. I know that I've released a lot. I've released a ton. I know that my thinking is different. I know that my how I'm handling my own emotions is different. And I know that I want to move forward in this thing. I want to embark in my business. And as I'm embarking on my business, I'm just paying attention to what I see in my life, because it's allowing for me to pivot, to discern, to know. It doesn't mean that there's more letting go. It's meaning, okay, I'm not going to let my outside conditions stop me from moving my focus in the direction of what I want. I want this. And so it feels like you've been in this assessing of what you have and what you've been filtering, what you want to keep, all of those things. You've held yourself in this pause because there's a little bit of fear that's being held. And so just notice in your body if you're noticing any fear. And so we just get to allow that to rise up and to go. And then to notice where you are in pause. You're in an awareness. You've received all this awareness of what you want, of where you're experiencing, how you're experiencing your life now. You have this desire to let go of pause, but have you yet decided what you're going to play with? Are you willing to begin to turn the wheel? You got to begin to turn the wheel in order to go. And so to be ready to focus, decide, I'm ready to focus. I'm ready. It's time to go. What do I want? What am I going to play with as I engage with life? And so I choose moving my business out. I choose whatever that is. And so in that, I love it. In that, it's like, so this fear rose up because I could hear these thoughts of like, I don't want to make the same mistakes that I have in the past, or I don't want to make the same decisions that I've made in the past. Well, imagine imagine that was just impossible. And the reason why it's impossible is because you are so deeply connected to self that your connection to self is going to allow for you to make these decisions based on how you feel, but based on what it is that you want, right? And so I feel a deepened connection to your higher self. I feel a deepened connection to source. I feel a deepened connection to your intuition, to your guides. And so it's just a decision. I choose. I'm done. I'm done the pause. I'm ready to get out there. I choose to get out there. Right? I feel like the focus is, because it's like, I feel like the focus is business. Expanding the business, sharing yourself out there in the world, sharing what it is that you do, expressing yourself, whatever way, shape, or form that is. Yeah. It's like harnessing this energy of the Leo full moon and just like, this is me. This is what I do. Mocha, I would love a card with regard to embracing, integrating fully. Good morning. Interesting. Huh. 10 of Diamonds. And I say interesting because I know that 10 of Diamonds is your Mercury, right? So to integrate is to stop in the moment and to allow yourself to just simply assess. So when you go through a period where you have shifted so much in your own perception, your own ideas, you might have let go of energy, you might have discovered some things about yourself, you're inviting the physical world to fall into place as well. And so the integration is taking a minute, it's taking a moment. It doesn't necessarily mean that you may be taking the day off or going to sleeping all day or, all of these things, unless it's inspired, right? And so to integrate is to pay attention to, how am I feeling in this moment? What is it that I need in order to support my body, my mind, my emotions? And as I feel that, as I allow myself to integrate, I get to just simply take notice and be curious. What has fallen away, or what has changed in my life? What do I notice to be different? Because once your perception changes, how you see life changes. And so it's like the 10 of Diamonds is inviting a grander thinking of what it is that you're wanting to experience. I feel like you have deeper or better access to what you want, right? And in that, what you want, there's this fulfillment that's wanting to be shown to you in your physical world. But again, taking the time to integrate, to allow yourself to settle, right? To settle through, or to allow yourself to just be, to acclimate to the shift. Because the shift didn't only happen frequency, it did. It happened frequency, but that frequency is shifting the cells, it's shifting the mind, it's shifting the emotions. It's going to now shift your life around you. But it takes a minute. And so taking your time, inviting in patience, and patience begins with you, patience with yourself, patience with how you are feeling or how you think you're supposed to feel, so that you can continue to embark, right? They always say to slow down is to actually have more in your experience, right? Because you actually get to slow down to see the shift in your experience. And so are you willing to just decide? I'm just going to decide to integrate fully. I decide to be with me. And the thing is that you can't go anywhere without you anyway. And so the result is nurturing yourself, is re-identifying you, re-identifying your expression, re-identifying how you love yourself, re-identifying how you value yourself, and just really anchoring into that energy. And so, are you willing to do that for you? Are you willing to be the spiritual authority in your own life that allows for that to happen? And really and truly, it's not up to you as to how long it's going to take to integrate. However, I can say that when you just decide to allow yourself to integrate, it just goes faster. It just happens faster. And so to embrace is to surrender and to decide it to be so, right? Yeah, Francine, I would love a card if time allows. Of course. How are you doing, Francine? I feel like, I don't know, are you a 10 of diamonds? Huh. Let's see. It feels as though, I can't stop shuffling, but it feels as though like your mind keeps on spinning and spinning and spinning. Not fast or chaotic, but it keeps on spinning to like you haven't yet decided something. I feel like there's a decision for you to make. So it's like you can't miss out on opportunities. So it just keeps on coming round and round and round. And it's just waiting for you to stop and say, okay, I want this. I'm going to take this. This is mine. Yeah. And so this is really talking about partnerships. It's talking about how you connect with others, how you see yourself. The energy for this month itself is an opportunity for you to see yourself in others and how your value is being mirrored in others. So there are others that are coming into your life that are here as your muse. They're here to show you where you have made decisions about your own value, about what you bring into this world, whether or not that's good enough, whether or not you are worthy, whether or not you are lovable. All of these things are coming to show you where you have maybe identified yourself with less than you, right? And so there's a beautiful opportunity for you to choose. This spinning that's happening is, will you just choose that you are whole? Will you just choose that you're more than what you ever thought possible? Will you just choose that to live the life of your dreams? Will you just choose? Now, in the choosing, it doesn't mean that it inspires a change right away, meaning I decide, if I will use an example, if I was in a relationship and I was in a relationship where it wasn't showing me my value, and I've worked on my value, I've shifted my value, I know I'm valuable, but now I'm feeling the aversion and I'm not necessarily feeling the same values or connected to the same values. There's a shift because I've changed, and what connected us way back when is no longer bringing us together. And so in that, I choose me. And in choosing me and choosing my value and choosing to love me, I decide to leave a relationship, right? I decide to leave it. And in that decision to leave the relationship, in the past, I would have been calling up my 14-year-old boyfriend at the time and saying, it's over, it's done, we're done. But in our maturity, in our own wisdom, we're inviting you to, I decide to choose me over everything else. And so in that decision, I choose me. I choose me. Now, this can mean that in choosing me, this relationship is falling away, but it doesn't mean that I have to go and I have to engage with my partner and say, we're done. It does mean that you're going to allow for your next inspired step to come forward for you. Because in that space in between, it could be that if your partner was feeling it as well, or if my partner is feeling it as well, they're coming to say, hey, I don't think we should be in a relationship together anymore. Or, something else happens where he needs to move away for a couple of years or something, right? And so in that decision, it's allowing life to unfold for you so that you can now be inspired into your next step. Yeah, there's an initiation that's happening for you. And I feel like we've been saying this for some time, but the initiation that happens for you is by beginning here, deciding, Will you choose you? Will you choose your own value? And in that, other events will transpire that will allow for you to say receive feedback of you as a valuable person. You'll start to engage with life in such a way where your perception is shifting in your own value, but how people are coming as your muse, as your mirror, is shifting as well in relation to that. So yeah, I love that. Oh, I love that, Lisa. I too have one child more verbal than the other. Yeah. All right. Wanda, I would love cards supporting me in shedding extra pounds and inflammation from when I wasn't taking care of my vessel, mostly trunk area. I know I feel better when my weight was gone. Okay. So I'm feeling the abdomen. It almost feels like energetically, it feels like you're pregnant. Like, it's like this energy is wanting to just like move. And I feel like we've had this conversation or something like this a couple weeks ago. It's just wanting to move, like whatever it is that you are wanting to put out there in the world is wanting to be expressed. And so the inflammation that's happening is inflammation because you haven't done it, and the judgment that you haven't done it, if that makes sense. And so there's this loop that's happening in the body. You're looping where you want to do the things, you want to express the things, and you get that idea, and you get the idea in the morning. You're like getting up, you're probably meditating or you're queuing, and you're like, boom, I got a message that's going out. And then you go out, and instead of writing it down, maybe, or you do write it down, you go and you engage with life. You're taking care of horses, you're taking care of your daughter, you're making lunch, you're making dinner, you're eating, you're doing the things. And that message doesn't get put out there to the world. And so then there's this looping of, oh man, I didn't do it, or I forgot, oh, I should have done it, oh, blah blah, whatever that talk is. And so you're looping in this. There's something to be expressed. I'm leaving it. I'm not making it a priority to get it out there, and I'm engaging with life first. And so now I'm creating this loop where I'm judging myself, which is now creating inflammation in the body, which is creating a retaining of water in the body. And all of this is like, okay, do I feel safe? Do I feel safe to just express myself in the world? Do I feel safe to engage with the world? There's multiple pathways that it's wanting to be expressed. It's like, just get the words out. And so it can be like, you can just put it on Facebook, or you can just put it on social media, or you can put it on Q30, or you can put it on a website, or you can put it on things. Like, it's just get it out there. There's all of these possibilities that are available for you. Sometimes it can even be like, you made a choice, but you didn't act on it. So it's like, oh, I'm choosing to, or I'm getting an insight to go connect with someone. I'll connect with them later. And so it's like, boom, go connect with them, engage with them. Hey, I've been thinking about you. Hey, I have an inspiration. Hey, I've this, that, the other. And so all of these pathways for something that's wanting to be expressed from you, you know what it is. And will you do the thing? Will you bring it into the physical? Will you birth it? And the result is more creativity in the things that you're wanting to express. And so as you move it out into the world, it's almost like birthing it. It'll open up space for more creativity, more sense of trust, more creating, more letting go of the past. And so there you create a new loop of I'll just say success, for lack of a better word, of success. You create a loop of, I'm engaging with life, I'm moving it out into the world, I'm expressing myself, I'm connecting with others, I'm putting my message out into the world in whatever way I see fit. And so I'm moving this out. And that then reduces the inflammation, it reduces the judgment, it reduces the all of the things, right? Yeah. Awesome. Nailed it, Samantha. Beautiful. All right. Okay, love it. So I am over time. I'm going to pick two more and go with that. Shelley. Love a card. If you have time, please. Okay, just tapping in. It's funny, I look at your picture and then I just suddenly see like this landscape. Like there's this new journey out on the horizon, but the new journey's out there, not here. And so it's almost this choice point. Have you decided to take a new journey, or have you decided to get out there to engage? There's something that you've discovered about yourself, maybe an awareness about yourself that you're kind of wanting to just let go of, but it's being held with it's being held with emotions, being held with shame. It's being held with uh, with hurt, with pain, with all of these things, and it's just wanting to be released. Like there's this pattern of running away from shame, if that makes sense. And so this is not just for you. Many of us have done that. We spend our lives running away from shame, running away from judgments, running away from what other people are going to tell us. You know, I used to run away from my grandmother. When my grandmother would come to me, when I knew I gained 5 pounds, I would run away from my grandmother so I wouldn't have to hear her. So I'd run away from the shame, like physically. And so there's this letting go that's happening for you, that's inviting in a new life. You're being invited to engage with life in a new way, in new ways. Like the Three of Hearts is like, there are new ways for you to engage with life. There's new ways for you to engage in relationships, but it's coming back to how are you engaging with you? And so in that engaging with you, there's an invitation to choose. What do you want? Are you ready to let go of all of these what feels like physical manifestations that have been happening within your own body, so that you can just almost like start anew. The Three of Hearts is like, okay, clean slate. If I were the artiste in my life, if I were the creator in my life, and if I were to really paint and create a new landscape from this, from who I am now and from what I'm deciding now, well, what is it that I would want to experience? And so in this journey of what you're wanting to experience, whether that's to move to a new home, move to a new state, to engage in relationships, deeper, richer relationships, to reconnect with your son, or to deepen your own connection with you, it's you are the creator of your experience. And so will you just decide to do it? And so in that decision to do that, you embark on a journey which now starts to show you where you've been controlling life itself, where you've been trying to manipulate the physical world, right, in order for it to be, or to succumb into the expectation of what it is that you're wanting to experience. Because I think what you've discovered now is that, oh shit, it didn't work. Like the things I tried to control, the things I tried to manipulate, whether that's people in your life and yourself, and the physical, right, bank accounts or jobs or relationships, all of those things, it actually didn't work. It was an illusion. And so in this, and deciding to create a life that you want, you start to navigate and start to notice where you were in control of the experience, so that you can let go of the patterns of control. Right? I hope that helps. That's where I need to decide which direction for which business. Ah, yes, Lori. Well, what lights you up? Where do you want to move your business? When you feel your business, you know, when you feel what you want to do, what is truly lighting you up in this moment? And are you willing to move through that, to engage with life, to like put that out to the world? This is what I do. I feel like you know the answer. Okay, Ashley. You are raising your value. Interesting. So I feel like, as I'm just looking at your life, like it feels like you've made some decisions that have raised your own value. In the raising of your own value, I feel like you, how I'm seeing it is, you had all of these business ideas, or you had all of these businesses, but in raising your value and raising and deciding what it is that you love so much, that you really wanted to engage with every day, that you wanted to share with the world, you picked like one or two. And so in that, that was you raising your own value, and you're being invited to keep on going, keep moving in the direction of what you want, keep on putting that out into the world, keep on sharing that inspiration, keep on moving forward with all of these things. You're starting to see that in raising your value, you've actually experienced greater well-being in the body, a greater like I want to talk French, but I won't. Like vive de something, like the more life in your body, you feel more engaged with your child, with your partner, with how you eat, with your body, with all of the things. Keep on going. Because I'm at the same time there, I can hear there's some thinking of, okay, well, did I make the right choice? Am I, should I keep on going? And it feels like yes, like keep raising your value, keep putting yourself out there, keep choosing to engage, keep choosing life. Yeah. Oh, I see your question here now. I would love a message about shifting into abundance energy. Yeah. Keep raising your value. Keep on going. Keep amplifying that. Keep on being with it. Keep on moving it out there. Keep on loving it so that you create the flow. In this journey of you discovering yourself, in choosing the three, of raising your own value, you've actually you've brought flow into your life, but you've also brought in a deeper connection with yourself and with the divine. And so it's beautiful that it almost feels like you're um, better, you're more deeply connected to your intuitive self, to God, to source, to creator. And so you as a whole being are moving out into the world. And so you can start to see, or you may be already experiencing more flow in your life, and you're actually feeling, oh, I'm pivoting here. I don't want to go to this, I don't know, this, I don't want to engage here at the center. I want to go in this direction. Or, oh, okay, I'm my eating, like I've noticed my eating's changing a little bit. I'm going to decrease this. And so you're feeling that deeper connection, which is informing you. So keep on going. You're in the abundance. Yeah, keep moving forward. I love that. Awesome. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining me today. This was fun. It's fun connecting, fun engaging. Yeah, if you are curious about your numerology, if you want to go dive deeper in, if you want to have a private session to do some channeling, answer some questions, I invite you to connect with me. Yeah, and if you aren't part of Q30, I'm going to post a link down below to join us. It is free. It's accessing your essence. It's really this energy of being, right? And it's a beautiful opportunity to be in community, in a different community outside of this one here. So I'll post that there. And yeah, have an amazing day. So much love. And I will see you in the spaces. Bye for now.